I started playing soccer when I was 3 or 4. I think at a young age, probably around like 7 or 8, my parents kind of realized that, oh, okay, she's pretty athletic, like she's really good, like we should start putting her in better programs, travel, things like that. So, and then obviously I just went with it because it was fun and I was good. So
At around 12 years old, I saw basketball as something that I was told that I was really good at it, So I got this idea, why not use this sport as sort of a tool or a car, if you will, to let it take you places.
I'm from Puerto Rico, and I kind of got good at a young age. It opened up a lot of opportunities for me. Just allowing me to go to school in the States was an opportunity in itself. So I just kind of prolonged my passion for it.
since I knew I was coming here for so long, like since sophomore year high school, I kind of only had sports right in front of me. And all my friends that I've made, my really close friends, have all been through sports, and the opportunities that I've had from playing on this team in the collegiate level has helped me so much, because I've had numerous opportunities to do X, Y, Z. And if I didn't have soccer, I would have had a completely different experience at this school, completely.
We expect tremendous out of our athletes. The expectation for our athletes are off the charts. We're here to try to win everything. What I mean by that is win at life, win at academics, win at basketball in our case, or whatever coach you're talking about sport. But our goal in life is to achieve greatness.
Yeah, it's pretty, it gets draining. It gets really, really draining. You get tired, your body's tired, you're mentally tired. And then on top of all the mental exhaustion from sports, you got the mental exhaustion from classes and keeping up with all the work. So, it's really like working a full-time job, honestly.
I'm a big advocate against athlete slander because I know so many people who complain, oh, the athletes. No, first of all, I wish people knew that all the hours that we put into our craft and all the hours we put into getting to our situation where we are in right now. Like regular students who aren't athletes have 6+ hours of more time that they can do and utilize, whereas our day has been broken up into, okay, you got to schedule everything around practice, treatment, eating, lift, everything. So there's a lot more that goes into being a student athlete that people don't necessarily recognize.
So a regular day would probably be waking up around like 7:30, probably in class from like 8 a.m. to around anywhere between like 12 to 1 o'clock. So trying to find kind of meals in between our class time. Hard to eat breakfast, it's hard to get a couple meals in when you're trying to get a good amount of sleep. So I would say class would probably from 8 to around 12. Run and get a quick meal before practice. Actually I forgot about one thing. We usually have weightlifting somewhere in between. So if we have like an hour break, we'll have weightlifting for an hour and then straight back to class. Usually throwing a protein shake after that. Then after my classes were done, I'd probably go get a meal or something, order something quickly, and then go to practice at around, I want to say 1:30 usually. Get taped, get changed, kind of warm up. We usually start practice at around like 2:30ish. Kind of go for around 2.5 hours, 3 hours, depending on the day. So kind of, let's say, be done at around 4:30, 5 o'clock. Then usually we just like kind of stay after, get some extra workouts in. Usually don't leave the gym till around like 6:30ish on a normal day. So kind of in there for a good amount of time. And then it depends on the night, but I think I had usually like 2 night classes a week. So some nights I'd have to go to class again. Other nights I would just kind of get back to my room, shower, eat a lot. Usually just hang out with my friends, play video games, watch movies, try to get a good night's sleep, and then kind of repeat the same day over and over again, honestly.
And then leaving up to games, it just becomes a little more, because on top of practice, you have walkthroughs at night, shoot-arounds, kind of just to prepare yourself. So when you get to the game, you're kind of firing at all cylinders. It's just a lot of time being consumed on top of school, but it's a choice we all make.
It's not so much just about the fact that like you're on a team and then you have to balance all of your other responsibilities. It's the fact that you have to both push both yourself mentally and physically and emotionally every day throughout, you know, several months or weeks of a season. And do everything that we do, you know, academically and athletically and whatever else you do extracurricularly at a high level. So I think all of those things added on top of each other are much harder than people realize.
You often present to this, there's 3 phases when you are dealing with student athletes and life in general. But from an academic standpoint, is number 1, academics. People think that's an obvious one. People sometimes don't know why they're really doing it, what their focus is, and those kind of things. Part 2 of that is what we'll call, in our case, basketball. And again, everybody thinks they know that, but it seems like an easy one, but there's a lot of learning and development there, and physically and mentally. And then the other one's social. And that encompasses everything from your social life on campus to how your family's doing. And the one thing I will tell you is you cannot be good at any of them if you are struggling in any of them. And you definitely cannot be great unless you're good in all 3. And that's 27 years of experience and more tried and tried tests ever. You know, we can tell when a young man's struggling in a class because he'll start to struggle on the court near the end of the semester. Because kids care and it means more. And unfortunately, stereotypes, oh, they don't care, they're athletes. That's the worst thing in the world. They actually probably care more. They may not have certain skills and they don't have, and again, time management. They have much less time than a regular student.
Being from Florida, I wasn't home for 10, 11 months. So that was really, really hard. I don't think I've ever been away from home for that long. And I don't think many people have, to be honest. One of my closest friends got married. And it was like it was the day before a game, or the day before we were traveling for a game. So I missed his wedding. Your schedule, I mean, no matter what else is going on, it's really kind of focused on basketball, to be honest. So whatever's going on is kind of pushed aside. It's put second to basketball. So,
I mean, I think over my first 3 summers here, I missed out on a lot of internship opportunities, just because for basketball you do have to like be here over the summer and do like the summer workouts. And if you want to get the most out of it, you have to dedicate a lot of time to it, which is kind of hard if you're doing an internship, trying to go to the city and coming back. And it makes it a lot difficult, but you kind of need those internships to get real world experience for life after basketball. Because at the end of the day, the ball goes flat at some point.
I love my coaches and I love all my teammates because, I mean, we're very tight knit. I mean, there's a lot of us, so we don't have to be best friends, but there's kind of like a culture on my team where if somebody needs something, like, you'll get it, you'll be there, and the support is always there. Our coaches are great. They're always here to talk about anything, and they make that known as well. So they've always been supportive. I've never felt like I needed to ask for support. They've always kind of been there, and it's a really good environment.
I think me and my teammates have always kind of been on the same page. You know, when one person is struggling with something, I feel there's always 3 or 4 or 5 more people struggling with the same thing.
I feel like when it comes with sports and mental health, it's always overlooked and not really addressed, because especially in a male-dominant sport, it's harder because of the machismo and the masculine energy, where it's like you're supposed to be like this, and you're not supposed to be sensitive about certain stuff. But at the end of the day, just by not acknowledging that and kind of helping people through it, it kind of puts it on the back burner for it to come out later.
And even within the athletic community in general, like, it's only now that we're starting to talk about, okay, mental health is real in athletes, like, we actually need to address this. It's kind of like a new topic that's being talked about more and more, so that's good. But I wish the everyday person kind of recognized that we have to go through so much, not to put anybody else down, but we do have to go through a lot mentally, physically, things like that.